Thank you so much for my introduction. So I will briefly tell about myself. I am Dr. Ankita Garkoti, working as Senior Science Officer in Nurture Growth. I'm from India and I have over 10 years of experience in agriculture, extension and research. I have worked in different field of agriculture as agronomy, insect pest management, and organic farming, natural farming, and promotion of organic farming to farmers. I have also worked in a department of agriculture where I worked for the promotion of organic and natural farming for farmers to create awareness about organic farming. And I have worked in biofertilizer industry where we used to check the quality of biofertilizers. So I have seen very closely all the biofertilizers, their quality, how we apply it in the field. Um, Apart from this, I used to organize training programs for farmers to create awareness about organic and natural farming for crop production, protection, practices, how we use to increase our production, and so on. Yeah. So today I'm going to talk about biologicals and sustainable agriculture, like how we can use these biological, what are different type of biological which we can use in our field, and we can move towards sustainable agriculture. So going forward, let me, yeah, I think now it's better. Yeah. So we'll start with sustainable agriculture. So, since sustainable agriculture nowadays, everyone wants, we should go towards sustainable agriculture, but whether we are talking about conventional farming or organic farming, sustainable agriculture, whatever agriculture we are doing, or we are growing any crop. So what is the base of agriculture? Uh, since whatever plants we are sowing, whatever seeds we are sowing, we are growing plants, we are growing these plants in soil. So soil is the base of agriculture, where whatever plants we are growing in the soil. So this, I believe, not I believe, it is the truth that soil is the base of agriculture. And some people have not a clear idea whether soil is living or non-living. Since when we talk or teach our children, we teach about basic things like difference between solid or liquid, so living organism or non-living organism. So just like that, we all know that plants, animal, human, or living being, and houses and furniture is non-living beings. But there is a confusion. Some people believe that soil is a non-living thing, but it's not. Soil is a living entity. Why? Because of the presence of microbes. There are so many microbes are present in soil, which make our soil live, which make it a living entity. So since we are here, we all are here, since we are connected to farming. We are some people are working in agriculture, some people are promoting sustainable ways of agriculture. So it is our responsibility to nurture our soil, to make, since it is living, we have to make sure that it should be living, and we should do farming in a sustainable way so that our soil should be always be living, and we should maintain these microbes so that whatever plant will grow in the soil will be healthy, and we can get nutritious and healthy produce. So, sustainable agriculture, it is a solution. So, biologicals, since we are going to cover mainly the biologicals in this presentation. Uh, so, these biologicals are the solution for sustainable agriculture, and these biologicals help in sustainable agriculture in different ways. For example, crop production and crop protection. These biologicals, when they, and since some microbes are already present in soil, but sometimes when the soil conditions are not that much good, that time we can introduce few biological in the soil to enhance the health of soil, and these can accelerate the growth of plant and increase yield. Similar way, we can protect our crop instead of using different pesticides and all. We can sustainably manage our pests and diseases, which I will talk about in detail in later slides. This comes under biological control. Uh, Here we'll talk about maintaining our soil health. Since I already told you that soil contains microbes, so how to provide nutrients in soil, since soil has microbes, but sometimes because of use of chemicals and pesticides we are killing those, unknowingly killing those microbes. So there are two ways to provide nutrients to the soil. First is a natural or regenerative farming, and in which we can maintain the, we can rejuvenate the soil health by natural way. And the second is adding fertilizers or manures, or adding biologicals in the soil to maintain its fertility. So in regenerative farming, there are certain methods. For example, field fallowing, in which we leave the field without cultivation of any crop, so that uh, soil can rejuvenate itself. And secondly, sometimes to break the disease and pest cycle, because if this because whenever pest or disease is in the field, they always need host to multiply. So if any crop is not there in a certain season, it will help to break the chain of these pests and diseases. So it will help to maintain the soil and get rid of those type of pests and diseases. The second is crop rotation, in which we can uh, rotate our crop. For example, sometimes uh, some crops are more nutrient demanding, right, like cereals and all, and we can rotate these crops in the same field with some other crops. For example, leguminous crops as pulses, which can able to fix nitrogen, and that way we are helping our soil to maintain its nutrients. The next is mixed cropping, in which we in the same field we mix different type of crops in the same field. This way, what we can do is we can sometimes, if there are chances of crop failure, so that time the other crop uh, can be successful, and we can manage the loss of one crop. So this way it is helpful. Intercropping is also a kind of mixed cropping, but in which we we have a fixed pattern of like fixed pattern of crops, like we can uh, grow these crops in a line, like first oats, maize, barley, like that. We can do this way. So these are just the natural farming or regenerative farming, in which we are not adding any external uh, fertilizer, biological, nothing we are adding. These are just the natural processes. The second one is manure or fertilizer. So there also the people use fertilizers, chemicals, so many things. So if we are using fertilizers in our field, they instantly uh, help the plant to grow, because they are instantly giving them the macronutrients, but they will not increase the fertility of soil. And excessive use of these fertilizers can cause different type of pollutions, like soil pollution, water pollution, and so on. We all are aware of this thing, so I'm not going in detail. The second thing is adding manures or biologicals, which is our main focus today, focusing on biologicals. So biologicals are the sustainable and better alternative for crop production and crop protection also. This biologicals refers to a range of product and practices where we use living organisms or their byproduct to enhance the soil fertility. So how this works? Biological, uh, since these microbes, the normal soil also have some microbes, but if we are adding biologicals, they have their different mode of action. Once they enter in the soil, they increase uh, the natural process for nutrient absorption. Uh, for example, they are able to fix nitrogen, which is unavailable for plants. They are able to solubilize phosphorus. So that's way they are increasing the nutrients of the soil and helping the plant to grow. These In this way, if our soil is healthy, having a number of microbes, this will help our plants to grow healthy and we will get good yield. In addition to this, what is the benefit of biologicals is after the harvesting of crop, our soil is still nutrient rich, so that is good for our next crop also. So this is the benefit of biological and uh, going towards sustainable agriculture. Like we are going sustainably to, we are getting our yield of the crop and we are maintaining our soil fertility for the next crop also. So we are going towards the farming in a sustainable way. This is the biological landscape. Biologicals, here we are differentiating biologicals in two parts. First is fertility and second is biocontrol agent. In fertility, there are it can be divided into three parts as biostimulants, biofertilizers, and bioinoculants. Biofertilizers is divided into nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash biofertilizers. So in the coming slides, I'm going to talk in detail about all these biostimulants, biofertilizer, and bioinoculants one by one. Biological control is divided into bioinsecticides, so it biofungicides and bioherbicides. So we are controlling these insects, fungicides, or herbicide in a biological way instead of using pesticides. So this is the overall uh, uh, classification of biologicals in two parts: fertility and biocontrol. First, I will talk about biocontrol, and then I will emphasize on fertility and talk in detail about all these. Okay, yeah. So first, yeah, in before talking about biocontrol agents, first I will talk about mode of action of biologicals. So biologicals, as we saw the classification of biologicals into biofertility and biocontrol agent. So how they work, what is the mode of action of these biologicals? So biologicals, they, since there is different categories in this diagram, we can see that uh, I will start from here. For example, our atmosphere has nitrogen, but it is not directly available for plant to absorb. So these biologicals help this to fix this atmospheric nitrogen and make it available for plant. However, I'm going to talk in detail about all these processes in a separate slide also. But this is just to give you a introduction about how they work. Similarly, solubilization of phosphorus also, the unavailable phosphorus which is present in soil, these biologicals have the ability to to solubilize this phosphorus and make it available for plants. Uh, other work, other important work of biologicals is it helps to maintain the soil, like it increase the porosity of soil. It makes the soil loose, and since the microbes are there, they are growing there, they are releasing some hormones, there are some enzymes, and make the soil healthy and nutrient rich. And these organic matter degradation also, some biologicals have the capacity to degrade the organic matter and degrade them and help the nutrient in nutrient cycling. And for example, trichoderma, these are some decomposers which help in sometimes, like plant leaves dry and they fall in the ground. So these biological have the ability to degrade uh, these leaves and twigs and make it compost, which is good for nutrients in it, and it increase the nutrient of soil. And sometimes uh, some because of heavy metals or these soil pollutants, these biological have the ability to degrade these toxic materials in a simpler molecules which are not harmful for plants. So this way also these biological help in maintaining the soil and reducing the harmful effect of those toxic materials. um, Mycoparasitism is also a form of like mode of action of biologicals. For example, some fungi uh, make the association with have the ability to reduce the effect of other harmful fungi. For example, trichoderma, it has the ability to uh, suppress the activity or growth of other microbes which are harmful for plants. So this is the way some fungi are helping to reduce the growth of some pathogenic or harmful fungi. So this is also a mode of action of biologicals. Uh, and antibiotics and competition. It's like if some fungi or bacteria have the ability to these produces antibiotics which are helpful in reducing or in degrading the effect of harmful pathogens. So this way they are able to suppress those harmful pathogens which might cause any effect to plants growth. So this way they are helpful. And similarly in this biocontrol agent also I will talk in the later slide, like how these there are certain predator and parasite which are helpful to control harmful pests and insects in a natural way. We don't have to use any chemicals, by this natural way they are able to naturally fixing these problems, so that if we go ahead with biologicals, we can do sustainably, like we can maintain the fertility of soil, we can suppress diseases and pest problems, and we don't have to rely completely on fertilizers or pesticides. So now I will talk about biocontrol agents. So these are the biocontrol agents are natural organisms, as these in a broad way these are categorized into bioinsecticides, biofungicides, and bioherbicides. And these are natural organisms which inhibit the growth of other harmful uh, pathogens or insects in a natural way, and these offer an eco-friendly alternative to chemical pesticides. And this way they are reducing the environmental damage and helping to preserve our biodiversity. These are the types of biocontrol agents. First is predators, parasite, and pathogen, and the other fourth one is competitive exclusion. So predators are mainly they hunt and consume pests. They directly attack on pests, and for example, ladybug, which feeds on aphids and predatory mites, and these consume those harmful mites and other small pests. So saving our plants from these harmful pests by this natural way, we can do that. The other one is parasites. So these parasites live inside or outside the host, and they don't directly kill the host but immediately, but what they do is they live on the host and they take nutrition from the host and they complete their life cycle, and then slowly they kill the host. For example, parasitic wasp, they lay egg on the pest insect and they complete their life cycle, and that's the way they kill the host, such as caterpillars or aphids. Some other pathogens, as fungi, bacteria, and viruses, also they attack on pathogens and pest species. For example, Bacillus thuringiensis. So it is a bacterium that target specific insect larvae in certain crops, and cotton and corn are main example in which this has shown its effect. If we talk about competitive exclusion, so there are certain fungi and bacteria which work in this way. For example, certain certain bacteria, they releases some antibiotics which are helpful in controlling other harmful microorganisms, and trichoderma is one of the example which have shown some very positive. There are so many research papers in trichoderma which shown the effect of trichoderma on um, uh, harmful fungi, as wilt of fungi, uh, wilt of lentil and chickpea caused by fusarium. So trichoderma has the ability to suppress the disease caused by fusarium. So now, after talking about biocontrol agents, we are now starting with biofertility. This biofertility is referred to the ability of soil to maintain and support plant growth through natural processes. So this biofertility is differentiated into three parts: biostimulants, biofertilizers, and bioinoculants. Uh, they all have the uh, kind of same purpose, as they are working towards the uh, growth of plant, but somehow they all are different from each other. So I will talk in detail about these. So enhancing soil fertility by biological means is we can do by biostimulants, biofertilizers, and bioinoculants. So first, I'm talking about biostimulants. So biostimulants are the substance which help to directly stimulate the plant to take nutrients from soil and help them to avoid stress tolerance and increase the crop quality traits. There are certain examples of biostimulants as humic acid or seaweeds, uh, which help in stimulating the growth of plant. Uh, biostimulants just directly go. What they do is, their mode of action is, they directly stimulate the plant, and they help the plant to increase the intake of nutrients from the soil, so that the growth of plant is increased by the use of these biostimulants. Now, the second one is bioinoculants. These bioinoculants are the natural product which contain biologic beneficial microbes, as bacteria, fungi, or algae. These microorganisms are introduced in. We can introduce these bioinoculants in soil, seed, or plants to improve the agriculture productivity and enhancing plant growth, nutrient uptake, and resistance. So this is the additional thing of bioinoculant, that it uh, increase the resistance to pest and diseases also. So these bioinoculants establish beneficial relationship with the plant, and they enhance the growth and health of plant, and ultimately they improve the performance of plant and help the plant to grow healthy and with less chances of getting any infection from diseases, and ultimately we will get the higher yield. Yeah, so this is about biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are the substances which contain living microbes, and we can use these biofertilizers in seed, plant surfaces, and uh, soil application also. So these colonizes the rhizosphere. So these biofertilizers have the ability uh, to do the natural processes and make the nutrients available for plants by different processes of nitrogen fixation, phosphorus solubilization, and potassium solubilization. So they In this process, the biofertilizers can be inoculated in the soil, or we can do seed treatment also. This help to increase the porosity of soil and increase soil aggregation according to the soil, like how which type of soil it is. So these biofertilizers help in the natural process and increase the yield, and make the soil nutrient rich, and help the plant to grow healthy. Uh, so if we go in detail about biofertilizers, these are divided into three parts, as nitrogen biofertilizers, phosphorus biofertilizers, and potassium biofertilizers. Nitrogen biofertilizer is again divided into two parts, as symbiotic and non-symbiotic. So symbiotic nitrogen biofertilizers are type of biofertilizer which make a symbiotic relationship with the roots of any plant, and non-symbiotic are free living type of biofertilizer which freely live in the soil, as azotobacter, azospirillum, and acetobacter. And symbiotic examples are rhizobium and azolla. The second one is phosphorus biofertilizer, in which this is again categorized into two, as phosphorus solubilizer and phosphorus mobilizer. In phosphorus solubilizer, there are certain example like Bacillus, Pseudomonas, Penicillium, and in phosphorus mobilizer, there is mycorrhiza, vascular arbuscular mycorrhiza, we call it. The third one is potassium biofertilizer. There are some example of potassium biofertilizer, as Bacillus maculosinensis and Frachuria aurantia. So after this classification of biofertilizer, we'll talk one by one about nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium biofertilizers. First, this is just a slide to show you the picture of different type of biofertilizers. Uh, First, this is the photo of rhizobium, which is present in the root nodules. These are roots of plant, showing the presence of rhizobium, and this is the petri plate of inoculated rhizobium, isolated rhizobium and these all microbes have specific media in which they grow. For example, in rhizobium, we grow rhizobium in Yama medium. So in the specific medium, we isolate the rhizobium, and grow. We can grow and check and identify the specific biofertilizer. So this is a rhizobium. These are the plate of azotobacter. These are phosphorus solubilizing bacteria. There is a solubilization zone we can see here. These are blue-green algae, picture of blue-green algae. And these are the slide of azospirillum, and this is mycorrhiza. So this is just to show that how these biofertilizer, when we isolate them, how they look like. Uh, Now, since we know that these biofertilizers help in those natural processes like nitrogen fixation, phosphorus solubilization. Now the thing is, what is the need of nitrogen fixation? What is the role of these nitrogen fixing microorganisms? Since some microbes are already present in soil, but the thing is, in our atmosphere there is already nitrogen. uh, our atmosphere contains around 78% of nitrogen, but this nitrogen is not available for plants. So that's why there is a need to fix atmospheric nitrogen and make it available for plants. So these nitrogen fixing bacteria and these biofertilizers like rhizobium, azotobacter, in nitrogen fixation, in root nodules, only rhizobium is the bacteria which are symbiotic. This is the example of symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria. So they have the ability to fix this atmospheric nitrogen and make it available for plant in a simple form. So that's why we need these nitrogen fixing bacteria like rhizobium, which fixes this atmospheric nitrogen. into different other nitrogenous compounds as nitrates and nitrites, which is available for plant to absorb. So this way they help the plant to grow. Uh, Now the second thing is phosphorus solubilization. Phosphorus is the least mobile element in most soil, and this is also unavailable for plant uptake. So in this situation, these microorganisms can enhance the plant phosphorus by solubilizing these insoluble phosphorus. So our soil also contain phosphorus, but that is also not available directly to plant to absorb. So these microbes, what they do is they produce certain organic acids, which lower the pH of soil, and there is acidification of by this organic acids, and this process help to release the soluble phosphorus. So this will help the available soil phosphorus and make it available for plant, and plant can show because of the presence of these microbes. uh, we can see the difference, like after the presence of these microbes, they do acidification, producing different acid and make the phosphorus available for plant, and the plant are growing well. So certain phosphorus solubilizing microorganisms are Pseudomonas, Bacillus, and mycorrhiza. These are some examples. And this mycorrhiza is a form symbiotic relation. These mycorrhiza form symbiotic relationship with the plant root, where these fungus extend their hyphae uh, into the soil to increase the surface area available for nutrient absorption. So this helps to release the phosphorus from organic matter and the insoluble phosphate, and by production of certain organic acids, they make it available for plant to absorb this phosphorus, and that will help in growth of plant. Next is potassium solubilization. So potassium is an abundant element in soil, but it is also not directly available for plants to absorb. So some microbes, for example, Bacillus, Prochuria, and Pseudomonas, these are the examples of some bacteria which help in potash solubilization. So these bacteria and fungi help the unavailable potash, and they release some acids which lower the these produce some acid which lower the pH of the soil, and these acids help to dissolve the unavailable potassium in the soil and make it available to the plants. So this way the plants can get uh, um, potassium and phosphorus. Plants can get the unavailable potassium and phosphorus with the use of these microbes, which make them available for their growth. Now, method of application of these biofertilizers, we can do seed treatment, and we can use in seedling, root dip method also, seed set and tuber treatment also. We can apply them in soil, and we can use foliar application of these biofertilizer as well. So since we talked about biofertilizers, we talked about biostimulants and bioinoculants. So what is the difference between these three? So basically, they all are working towards the growth of plant in a natural way, without causing any adverse or deteriorating our soil. They are not. They are eco-friendly. They all are eco-friendly. But there are few slight differences in all these. uh, for example, in biofertilizers, these contain living microbes, and they help in naturally fixing nitrogen, solubilization of phosphorus, and decomposing organic matter. uh, and they may contain nutrients. They stimulate the root development and growth by natural hormones. Uh, Biostimulants, they directly stimulate the plant to for nutrient uptake, and they themselves does not contain any nutrients, but they work along with biofertilizer and bioinoculants. Uh, these bioinoculants are they contain beneficial microorganisms and they create the healthier growing environment. These we can apply in soil or we can apply in seed. These bioinoculants also help to grow plant well. So they all have benefits as promotion of growth. All can promote soil plant growth. Biofertilizer can increase yield. They increase nutrient uptake. They increase the root biomass and root area. Improve soil health and microbial activity. So similarly, biostimulants can enhance. Their main work is to enhance nutrient uptake and increase stress tolerance in plant. These both are the main function of biostimulants. And bioinoculants, the additional thing is they suppress soil-borne pathogens by producing some antimicrobial compounds, and they also enhance the tolerance to drought and salinity, and means abiotic stress. So this is the comparison of biologicals. Syn, Synthetic fertilizers, however, it is not a biological, but for comparison, I have included it here. Synthetic fertilizer, biofertilizer, bioinoculants, biostimulants, and nurture growth. So we can see that there is increase in yield by all use of all these. But the synthetic fertilizer, they don't provide any soil fertility. They don't improve water retention. Uh, they don't stimulate root growth. What is the function of synthetic fertilizer is they increase the yield. They contain plant nutrient and make them instantly available for plant growth. So that's why we get the increased yield, but they don't increase the fertility of soil. They are not a sustainable way of farming. The other in other comparison, by biofertilizer and nurture growth, they are close. Biostimulant, they does not improve the soil fertility as their main work is to stimulate the plant directly to uh, intake of nutrients. Uh, so here where nurture growth stand is it is very close to biofertilizer, but still it has different. But what makes it different from biofertilizer is it contains number of microbes, and the concentration of microbes is higher. And in biofertilizers, uh, like usually it's like specific biofertilizer is if they are using biofertilizer in they want to increase nitrogen, so there is fixed nitrogen fixing biofertilizer, and so on. But nurture growth has consortia of microorganisms which make it different from biofertilizer. And what makes it different from biofertilizer I will discuss in next slide also. So this is the slide how uh, nurture growth biofertilizer is different from other biofertilizer is. So first, it has the qualities of biofertilizer, biostimulants, and bioinoculants. The second is it has more number of microbes, so mode of action are number of mode of action and functions are also different since of presence of different microbes. These microbes are present in higher concentration in nurture growth, and it provide all the macronutrients and it help the micronutrients mobilize and make it available for plant. So this is the technology that nurture growth is different from other biofertilizers and other like biostimulants, since it has all the uh, like I can say a compact power of all biofertilizers, biostimulant, and bioinoculants. So, what are the product benefits of this nurture growth? Is first is the longer shelf life. Since other it has longer shelf life as 3 year of longer shelf life, and in storage also, it doesn't require any specific storage. uh, and like extreme temperature, it is able, like we don't need any cold storage or refrigeration for its storage. uh, Second is we can use this biofertilizer, this nurture growth in different type of crops, as fruit crops, vegetables, like any type of crops we can use it. So it's versatile in nature. We can use it in seed treatment, soil amendment, and as well as foliar spray. So some insect repellent qualities also seen. We got feedback from our so many farmers, since we conduct so many trials. Always we conduct in different season, in different places we conduct these trials. So we get good feedback from the farmers that these have insect repellent qualities also, and we have seen powdery mildew suppression also in grapevines. uh,
Ankita, hi, thanks. Thank you very much. We have 10 minutes left before the end of our session. Maybe we can turn this over to a question and answer
okay, sure.
period. Thank you so much for sharing, your knowledge with us. I knew that when you had joined our team, I was very excited because I knew a lot of this, but I needed a specialist to help me understand it and kind of dissect it and put it into a presentation. So this was very helpful. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I'd like to turn it over to the audience to to ask any questions for Ankita.
Yeah, you are free to ask any question, because presentation is also almost over. So the remaining slides are just to show the uh, effect of different effect of our nurture growth in different crops. Now you can ask any question. If you have any question, please ask.
Yeah. Actually, I can ask a question because I know that this is, something that we had discussed before.
Yeah.
Based on your experience with biofertilizers in India, what have you seen in the market of in terms of the number of microbes that and the quantity of or the concentration of microbes in other products?
Yeah, so I have vast experience in biofertilizer. So what I notice is usually biofertilizers which are available in market are, first thing is they don't have a high number of concentration of microbes. Second is if biofertilizer are there, they are specific, like they have just one microbes, as if it is azotobacter, so they give just azotobacter. So they are not compact. They are not in a compact form. Like if nowadays some biofertilizer companies are manufacturing some liquid biofertilizers, but there are also 2 or 3 microbes are present, and their concentration is also less. But in so this is my experience over there. But in nurture growth, what I have seen is the number of microbes are higher, and the microbes content is higher, and number of microbes are there. So initially I was wondering when I joined here that how could these many number of microbes can survive in one single uh, like how they survive together like that. But I have seen the results, and then I can see like, okay, this type of products also exist. So this is my experience back there, that other products which are in market, they don't have the actual microbial content uh, there. Yeah.
Thank you. And I see Tina is here from Australia and Reno. Hello from the Philippines. Mabuhay. Hi, Wade. Frida, Connor, Paul. Thanks for joining us. We still have a few more minutes if there are any questions. Oh, hi, David. Okay. David has a question. David is one of our apple growers, and he's also applied it on his raspberry. Um, bushes as well. Is there any risk to applying too much too frequently and creating adverse effects, i.e., too rapidly decomposing residue reserves?
So usually what is our recommendation is we recommend to dilute our, since in our product it is a compact, higher concentration of microbes are there, so we always recommend to dilute it 1% dilution, and we recommend twice a month. And it depends upon the crop also and how much they require. So since from our farmers feedback we have known that some farmers use our product just once a month also, so they are also getting good results. Otherwise we usually recommend to use it twice a month in any crop
And I can
as a foliar, as a foliar spray. Yeah, you want to add anything, Lee?
Yeah, I can also, based on my trial experience of doing it on different crops. So, for example, in vineyards, we recommend every 2 weeks, but some of our vineyards in Niagara and in Prince Edward County, and in Napa, they're doing it every 10 days or every 7 days. And the reason why is because they're seeing benefits of applying more, right? So, if you're going to do it every day, it's basically a waste of money. But they've seen benefits of, we recommend 2 weeks, but they've seen the benefits of applying it every 7 days or every 10 days to really get down to producing healthier vines. So this way it helps to resist pests and then also resist the powder mildew. So now these are just anecdotal, comments, but we have several, vineyards that are giving us that feedback. Another example is on bok choy, right? So when we had applied it every 2 weeks, they saw a 36% increase. When they applied it every week, they saw a 50% increase. So we're still tweaking around, with our recommendations as to how much it is that you want to apply that. There's no negative impact on the plants. The only impact is going to be on your wallet. And this is where we're trying to balance out, making recommendations, whether it's every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, depending on the goals. I see Reno has a question here. Do we need to use multiple biofertilizers to meet supply different nutrients to the plants? Are these biofertilizer nutrient specific?
uh, so this is the difference I can see in your question is our our answer. So in usually when we use biofertilizer, in whatever biofertilizer are available in market, they especially sell it for like nitrogen fixing. They sell azotobacter or rhizobium. They have different names to sell in the market. But in nurture growth, we have a compact thing in which you don't have to use different biofertilizer to your crop, since it has all the uh, benefits of nitrogen fixing, phosphorus solubilizing, and potash solubilizing. In addition to that, it has the ability to mobilize the micronutrients in the soil and make it available for plants. So in this case, if you want to go with nurture growth, you don't have to use different type of biofertilizers in your crop. Only one product is enough to increase the fertility of soil and to increase the good growth of your plants and getting good yield.
Does that answer your question? Okay. Okay, perfect. David has another question. So David says, thank you. Is there any evidence of reduction of botrytis? We use this weekly on strawberries and raspberry and are seeing very little incidences of botrytis since we started applying it. Right. So David uses it, our product, for the last 2 years on apples and on raspberry. I guess this year he added strawberries to the mix too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for a question for you, Ankita. Is there any evidence to reduce botrytis? Because Ankita just joined us in August, she hasn't seen any. And based on my experience of vineyards, because botrytis is also in vineyards as well, we haven't seen any evidence in that. But based on how biofertilizers and our product works as a biofertilizer, a biostimulant, and a bioinoculant, we're helping to boost the immune system of the plants, right? And also boosting the root zone of the plants. And because it's a much healthier plant, it is less resistant to disease and bugs. And then Dr. Ankita, can you please
Yeah.
confirm or
So
deny
this,
what I think?
right. Yes. So this is the one thing. Since the plants, if the soil is healthy, the plant is automatically healthy, and it will grow healthy. And for example, if a healthy human being is there, there are less chances of getting any type of diseases and all. Right. Same happens with plant. If the plant is healthy, there are less chances of getting infected by any type of diseases. So this is the one reason. The second one is maybe because of the presence of certain microbes. However, we are not claiming for these insecticides effect, but we have getting response from the farmers that they are able to they have seen the good results in controlling certain fungus and pest also. This may be because of the presence of certain microbes which are present in our product. For example, trichoderma, it has seen that trichoderma has a good effect in certain fungus as fusarium, botrytis. So this may be the reason of like not getting infected by these fungus or insects. However, we are not claiming for this, but on the basis of our farmers' feedback, we know that thing, and we know that it works this way.
I have one final question because this is a question I often get asked by farmers is that how does the plant know how much nitrogen to fix and how much phosphorus and how much potassium? Like, how does it know how much to produce and can it overproduce certain nutrients?
No, so what happens is that's why we use biologicals, since if we are using synthetic fertilizers, so we don't know how much we have to use. However, there is fixed amount, but if we are using in the soil, they instantly they are getting nutrient. The fertilizers are providing nutrient to the plant. They are taking nutrient from the that fertilizer, but the excess of those nutrient are getting inside the soil and going in the water, causing pollution. But in case of biological, what happens is these biologicals have the natural ability. So if they are higher in concentration in the soil, it will not cause any harmful effect to the plant as well as in the soil. So they are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. They are able to solubilize the phosphorus and potash and make it available for plants. So plants are automatically whatever they need, they intake it from the soil, and the remaining will increase them, will maintain the fertility of soil and will remain there. If even though we harvest our crop, the next crop which we are going to grow in that soil, so that since the soil is already nutrient rich, that will help to the other crop to grow well. So this is the beauty of biofertilizer, I can say, in comparison to fertilizers. So they increase the crop yield growth, and as well as they maintain the soil fertility. That's the way we are going towards sustainable way with the use of these biologicals. Yeah,
Well,
I hope.
thank you so much, Dr. Ankita. We are now at 10:01 and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. If you have any questions, please do send them to info@Nurture Growth Biofertilizer. We'll be happy to answer any questions, get on a call with you. If you're interested in a trial, let us know, but we're happy to continue to provide these educational webinars. I think the next one is going to be about soil health, more specific about soil health as opposed to, just talking about the microbes. So if there's any topics that, you would like us to discuss, we can, put that in our agenda for our future. So thanks again. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and we will talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye.